What is up, guys? Theo the Pirate here, back with another video. Today we are going to be looking at some horror stories. So let's just get started. Nine disturbing and true horror stories. True homeless horror stories. Okay.
I've lived a long enough life to have heard and seen a lot of unusual things. Of course, having spent many of my years in it, in the state of Florida, I've seen firsthand on several occasions why the infamous Florida man is always making headlines across the country. Heck, I could have been one of those Florida men back in the day. But I can tell you without a doubt that no matter how steeled you think you've become against the surprise
Subscribe to this guy. This guy is really good at making horror stories.
life throws at you, you're never invincible. Life always holds the power to shock you to your core. I mean, take me for example. I spent my years in the military, and I've spent my years on the streets, drifting between one rock and another hard place. But no matter what messed up stuff I have to see go down or deal with, I always bounce back. Well, almost always. Out of everything I've seen, only one thing made me lose my cool. And I think it was just the sheer unexpectedness of it. Just that I didn't think anything like it could ever happen in broad daylight in the middle of the city. But there's no denying that this happened. Everyone knows about it these days. It was a nice sunny day in Miami. I was making my way across town down the concrete mess of a highway, just to get out of that part of town I'd been in for the last few weeks. I've never owned a car, so I was taking my bike down the shoulder. Except I wasn't riding it. I hadn't been sleeping well, and the night before I didn't manage to catch any sleep at all. I was honestly too drowsy to pedal in a straight line, so I was literally just walking my bike down the shoulder of the road. There was a sidewalk next to me, but it was on the other side of a concrete barrier, like the ones they use to divide directions of traffic on freeways. I could have hopped it on foot, but not with my bike. I don't know exactly how I'd ended up sandwiched there between the cars and the concrete, but after what happened later, I'd take that way again over the alternative. The sun was getting high and bright. It was starting to hurt my eyes. I squinted ahead and saw that there was a bridge down the way, a nice wide overpass to provide some shade. I started to quicken my pace, which felt pretty silly given that there were countless cars flying past me. But between the deafening whoosh of each vehicle passing, I kept thinking I was hearing something. Something that sounded like the shouts of a heated argument between drunk people.
What's wrong with you? It's going out, it's down.
Oh.
That might not be something you'd expect to hear in the middle of the day in your town, but in Miami, it's more than common. But I couldn't help but think it sounded a little unusual. I figured that sleep deprivation was screwing with me. I pressed on, but as I got closer to the bridge, the shouting grew louder. It sounded more like screaming,
Oh my
but there was
God.
some other tone in it, like a growling, rabid dog. Every time I thought I was about to decipher it, a car would blow past me. Then, the sound would change. By the time I got to the bridge, my curiosity was piqued. I could definitely tell where the noise was coming from. Straight ahead of me, just a few more yards under the shade. I peeked over the edge of the barrier onto the sidewalk and saw two hairy pairs of men's legs sliding around together on the sidewalk.
Oh.
I instinctively darted my eyes away, not wanting to see much more above the thigh level. These experimenting people need to get a room. What are they thinking? Doing stuff like that on the side of the road in the beating sun? Well, obviously no one cares because no one's stopping. Just another day in Florida. I did my best to keep my eyes to myself as I passed under the shade. I was thankful for the break from the intense light, but beneath the underside of the road above, some strange sounds began to echo, forcing me in for another look. This wasn't an act of exhibition,
Oh.
but there were two messed up looking dudes lying naked on the concrete, and one of them was crouched over the other, tearing into a man's face with his teeth.
Oh.
There was blood gushing out and spilling onto the asphalt, foam showing through the bite wounds on the face. and flesh in the attacker's teeth as he looked up to notice me. Just
Okay. I was not expecting that.
screamed like a feral zombie as he looked me dead in the eye. It was at that
Oh, oops. Nikes, why did I go to Netflix? I swear, if it didn't save, I am going to poo my pants. Oh my god. Okay. I think it is. It's this one, I think. Yeah, it's this one. Okay, right here.
looking back to see if I was being ran down by that psycho. But luckily, he'd been content with scaring me off. I rolled down the first ramp that I got to and immediately went looking for a cop. I found one not even a block away, surrounded by several other very concerned-looking citizens. The police officer, however, seemed annoyed, but I was in a panic, and I never panic, so I must have been a sight to see all on my own. I barged through all those people and got right up into the cop's face. "There's a flippin' zombie on the frickin' pedestrian path. Up the ramp, just up that way. Come on."
Oh my god! I will poo myself.
Come on, don't get
Oh,
hysterical with me, people. What do you mean by zombie? It's a dude eating another dude's face off, man. Finally, it seemed like something clicked in the cop's brain. He didn't say anything to us. He walked straight into his car, speaking something into his radio. Then he drove up the off-ramp, going the wrong way, out of sight. Me and those other civilians traded a few strange looks, all in an understandable loss for words.
Oh,
Some of them looked like avid bicyclists. Others just looked like...
First of all, I was not expecting a naked dude that looked like a zombie to be biting another guy's face off. Okay, this is 1 hour, so we're only gonna do
people who'd
this
come out of
one.
their cars.
This
I
is gonna
wondered
be
how
a lot.
long that thing had been going on with all those people just driving past like that. Then we heard the gunshots. 5 of them in quick succession. Everybody on the street stopped what they were doing, dumbfounded. In just a few minutes, more and more cops came, followed by an ambulance, and then the army of press. News van after news van drove up to broadcast the scoop, live on the scene, or whatever. I heard some office building captured the whole thing on their security cameras. It was the talk of the town for weeks. I'm sure the name Miami was heard all across the world alongside Zombie Attack, Cannibal Eats Face off Homeless Man, Florida Man Gets Wasted and Eats Face. I don't care for any of that. People who weren't there seemed fascinated by it. But I know more than anything that I never want to see pictures of that horrible tragedy. Just from seeing it one time, I was shaken up for months. I still get hair standing up on the back of my neck whenever I pass under the bridge.
A person who was riding his bike here off the MacArthur Causeway yesterday afternoon says he saw one man eating another man alive.
You're about to hear from the Miami man who had his face chewed off.
My face is all attached up. My eyes got plucked out.
And ignored the officer's orders to stop eating the other man's face.
Okay, guys. That was a very nice horror story. That was based on a true story. I just cannot believe that was based on a true story. So if you like that video, please like it and subscribe, and I'll do more horror stories. So yeah, I was not expecting that. So I will